But this is what Brock Purdy had to say. One more time with the podcast. Built for more podcast. Thank you, Sam. On talent stops being the separator once you reach the NFL.
Everybody in the NFL as a starter, even second string guys, they're the best in the world at what they do. And you can have a great team in college, be surrounded by a great supporting cast, all these SEC schools that recruit great and they got great teams and they win national championships. And I'm not knocking them for that. That's awesome. Keep doing that. But when it comes to the NFL, dude, you're playing against the best of the best at every position. And so with that being said, it's how do you separate yourself? The talent, everybody's so talented and you got to be talented to play, yes. But at the end of the day, man, it's coming down to the mental part of the game of processing quickly, making the right decisions over and over and over. Kittle told me my rookie year, I'm like, dude, so what is it? And he goes, have you heard that Marshawn Lynch quote about you're going to get got, but you need a got more than the other guy or something like that? It's whoever can.
It sounds like a Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. I was like, huh? And so I listened and I thought about it and he goes, Brocky, he's like, at the end of the day, you just got to be more consistent than the guy across from you and do better longer. They're going to make great plays. You're going to be, but who can do it the longest, mentally, physically, all of it together?
So I do want to bring this into the equation as well. I do feel like we have evolved, though, when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL from where it used to be. It almost feels like you cannot be a statue behind there anymore. It is rare to be a statue purely pocket quarterback in the NFL. You have got to have, and I love the phrase, functional mobility. You almost have to have that in your game now. You have to.
You got to have a little bit of scoot in there.
Yeah, you do. Even the likes of Sam Darnold, he has that element. He could scamper around.
Scamper's a great word for it.
Scamper. He's not going to be Lamar Jackson or even Herbert. These guys that could gallop for 30 to 40 yards. But you need him to get 5, 6, maybe 10 yards. He could do that.
The legs are a threat with Darnold.
It was never a threat with two of the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I don't know if you could be that quarterback anymore in today's NFL. And I also don't know if those guys are getting drafted like that anymore because the games have evolved so differently in college to where all these guys can. You're looking, Chase, all of you, think about all the best college quarterbacks. Even Arch. The thing with Arch that makes him different from the other Manning brothers,
he can run a little bit.
He can run. He's athletic.
I mean, that is
Matt
kind
Stafford's
of
probably the last one.
Yeah, Stafford's not a bad one.
Who's the most statuesque quarterback in the NFL right now?
You know what? I'm gonna have egg on my face. He just won the MVP. He was still the best.
But he's also 30. He's it's a dying breed, Joe.
It's a dying breed. But God, that guy's got a cannon too to make up for it. He's got elite arm strength still at 38, 39 years old.
Jared Goff isn't the most mobile quarterback either.
No, he's got a little mobility, but not really. Right? He's more like Mac Jones in that regard.
Yes, but so Goff could still kind of get it done. I don't know what other statuesque quarterbacks are there still right now.
A buddy of mine who's a Niners fan said that who the human statue for him was? Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Kirk Cousins probably going to be starting week 1. He's old, but Kirk was that guy.
Part of the yesteryears, yeah. So but to your point, a lot of these quarterbacks coming out now.
But it's funny.
Cam Ward is a quarterback who can run around. Well, Fernando, I don't think is he can obviously run through the line. I mean, that run he had in the championship game was epic, but I don't look at Fernando Mendoza as a running, scampering quarterback. So
more like Sam Darnold in that regard. He can run, but you're not. He's big and strong. He's 6'5", but you don't want him to do that.
Joe Burrow can move if he needs to. I mean, he does need to because he's going to get sacked a lot. Trevor Lawrence can kind of run a little bit. Daniel Jones, if he's healthy, he did have that, they call him Vanilla Vic, but I always thought that was one of those ironic nicknames.
Well, now with that Achilles, you got to assume that some of that mobility is going to take a back seat.
Yeah. But again, Daniel Jones, not a top-tier quarterback. He had a great year with the Colts last year, but I don't think anyone's elevating him to that degree. Bo Nix, you consider him much of a...
Yeah, he can run.
He can scamper around a little bit. Mahomes, we know he can scamper around a little bit.
Well, maybe his game is going to change a little bit with this torn-up knee heading into the season.
ACLs healing from an ACL is a lot easier than it used to be.
Not the brace.
So, we'll see what it looks like, but it's just...
Sam, you know me. I'm not down. I never doubt the Chiefs.
Doubt
Even
Thanos.
they were eliminated from playoff contention last year, I still thought they were winning the Super Bowl.
Thanos at your own risk.
Yes.
Jordan Love, I feel like he could run. I don't think he does all that much, though. Caleb can move around a little bit. Baker can kind of move around. So, yeah, all these good quarterbacks, you have
Functional
some
mobility.
ability to scoot around a little bit.
I like the term functional mobility
Cardinals,
because it doesn't mean you're like this, the track star.
Yeah. Cardinals, I mean, if they go with Brissett or Carson Beck, not really a runner. He can scamper a little bit. He did have that touchdown run against Ole Miss that sealed the deal there. But
that was great.
Every time Carson Beck never was really, I looked at a guy's like, yeah, Carson, take off with it. Of course, he would throw it too, and that would make me freak out also. But it's a complicated relationship.
Real quick, you're wearing your Miami Hurricanes little shirt right now. You think Carson Beck's got a shot this year?
Listen,
decent?
If I'm the Arizona Cardinals and if he's healthy, I'm playing him. Why not?
I agree with you on that.
I don't know if he's got a legitimate NFL future, but hey, he'll put the effort in. I don't know if he's legitimate starting NFL quarterback, though.
I think you should find out, though, considering like next year's quarterback class is supposed to be like one of the best ever. Mm-hmm. There's supposed to be like 4 or 5 quarterbacks to go in the first round.
And Dante Moore, Chambliss out of Ole Miss.
CJ Carr, right? That's another one. What's the guy's Ohio State Sayers?
Julian Sayers.
I
don't know about him.
Well, but I'm saying projected. These guys are. I'm just saying.
Some of these college quarterbacks, I mean, it's the Alabama thing. Like so many great quarterbacks at Alabama, Mac Jones being one of them. Were they good quarterbacks, or they just benefit from the fact that everyone on their roster was a 5-star talent? Like Julian Sayers is playing with probably one of the best receiving cores in college football. He's got the best receiver in college football in Jeremiah Smith.
I mean, you could say the same for guys like Mac Jones and guys like Joe Burrow.
Well, honestly, that's why I never really bought into any quarterback that came out of Alabama. Are they a good quarterback, or they just have a stupid amount of talent that you're never going to have at the NFL level? Like, even watching Cam Ward, his year in Miami, there are times where he was just chilling behind his offensive line because the pass rush was just non-existent. Like, he's never, ever, ever going to have a pocket that clean in the NFL. So, like, it's just, the jump from college to the NFL, shocker. It's a bit of a talent jump, as Brock Purdy said.
By the way, you're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station, and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always on the free Odyssey app, coming live from the Laughing Monk Studios. 3 hours down, only 1 to go. Man, show has flown by today, Sammy. And that is Sam Lubman filling in for Shasky, as he has done all week long. You got one more day tomorrow. We still got another one to go, man.
Got to talk about an Niner game tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. We get to react. Let's go.
We're going to see Brock play tonight, too, for a series or two. What do you want to see from Brock tonight?
I'm glad you brought that up. I want to see him. It doesn't have to be a touchdown, but that would be nice. Just a great connection with the rookie DeJuan Stribling. Wouldn't that be something for Niner fans? Playing that on a loop for the next couple weeks leading up to Australia.
Up at the strip club.
The strip club, yeah. Let's go.
Brock could be a big patron at the strip club.
In Houston, they got LA, they got a bunch. Houston's the other game. At LA, they got a lot down there.
Yeah.
So I've been told. I don't do that.
Playing Las Vegas.
I don't do that sort of stuff.
Strip clubs.
I don't do that. Yeah.
It's been a while for me.
Been a while? Well, I mean, you went to college in Miami. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, that I did.
You did?
That I did.
Steve Smith says, Stribling, hey, future
Steve
of the 49ers.
Smith, the former Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers?
Should be a Hall of Famer. I agree
he's not
with you.
in yet?
Steve Smith Sr., he is not. I think he's going to be one of those stays in the Hall of very good conversations.
Ah, darn. Well, hey, he knows ball, though. So.
Pound for pound, though, for his size.
He was so good on those Panthers teams.
I mean, it's him and like Marvin Harrison. When I think of like 6 foot, 6'1" under, like he is in that conversation.
He had one of the better This Is Sports Center commercials.
Ice up, son.
Down at the very end of the hallway.
Yeah.
And then the next second, he's like right next to the guy's cubicle. That was always a good one.
I miss the This Is Sports Center commercials, like the OG ones. Big time.
I miss the good days of Sports Center.
Steve Smith Sr. on ESPN, Stribling, the future of the 49ers at wide receiver.
I think people will not, that were interested in Stribling, people will not be shocked to see what Kyle, when he gets his hands on him, what kind of wide receiver he will be. And I think they just found their soon-to-be best route runner when Kyle Shanahan gets him for the next couple of years, because here's what he is. He is what they were hoping Brandon Ayuk can be, but he has a little bit more of the mental bandwidth. He was with Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, right? Lane Kiffin can get on your damn nerves.
Wear you out a little bit.
He can wear you out. And what was told, and what do you and I know about Kyle Shanahan and Brandon Ayuk early in his career? He was in the doghouse because why?
All the time.
Kyle was constantly on his butt. Generally, when Kyle Shanahan is constantly on your butt, what does he see in you that you don't even see in yourself? the complete receiver. I think with Stribling getting drafted and getting him in the building, Kyle sees this as the future wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers that they can rely on.
Damn.
And I think that's what you're hoping, like, is the case after the season, that I can come away saying, yes, DeJuan Stribling is the future wide receiver for the squad.
I mean,
because it's not Mike Evans. He's too old.
But it gets you excited about what Evans and Stribling, and then throw Deebo Samuel in there. Like, and this is where, Bonte said the other day, this could be one of the deepest receiver cores out there. And he got mad at me because I didn't post that video. And, Bonte, you did have a point. Again,
which video did you post? I
posted him talking about the practice fights. He's like, "Oh, you should have posted that other video." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what?
Well, his connection wasn't good enough to do that.
I was
because he was cutting out every second when we had him on.
So it's like, I like that one more. It's like, well, that's dumb. I'm like, yeah, well, you're probably right.
I love the old producer and host fights. From,
oh my
Bonte.
God, we went back and forth on stuff.
We don't have me and you don't have that many fights, do we? Steve Smith Sr. also echoed those sentiments from on Bonte Hill.
I think this is the most complete wide receiver group that Kyle Shanahan has had as a head coach for the San Francisco 49ers. I know he's had it as position coach, OC, but I'm talking about as the head coach of San Francisco 49ers. I think this is the best group he's ever had in San Francisco in his tenure. Here's why. Mike Evans, complete wide receiver. The only guy in here because of age that I think is a little bit different is the new acquisition with Deebo. But Mike Evans, complete receiver. Stribling, complete receiver. Unfortunately, he's not healthy. But Ricky Pearsall, right? Robinson. It's really unique and interesting. Jacob Cowing. And they just have a lot of different guys that they can throw at you. And they all run some really good routes, uniquely created to their roles.
Had me until the Jacob Cowing
same
line.
thing there. But what? Hey, I love that. I agree with him on the rest of it, though. I mean, let's just go back to that 2023 receiving core. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk, 1,300 yards. Your second receiver, that was George Kittle. I didn't hear Smith mention Kittle there in that when he's listing off all the receivers. Kittle's probably more receiver than tight end right now. I mean, we'll see. Maybe he'll still be 50-50. But you had 800 yards receiving from Deebo that year. Then Christian McCaffrey was your fourth best receiver yardage-wise. And then you had Juwan Jennings. Solid receiver core, but no, I think stacked up against what we're looking at this year, what Mike Evans is capable of. Like, I'll say Mike Evans is a better receiver than Brandon Ayuk. I don't think that's controversial.
Hot take. Yeah.
I mean, Deebo now, we'll see. I mean, if reports are that Deebo's in the best shape of his life and he's looking like prime 21, 22, 23 Deebo, that's a legit offensive weapon right there. If DeJuan Stribling really is the talent that he's looking like right now, like I said, like that's three legitimate top three receivers you got there. And that's before you get into whatever you're going to get from Demarcus Robinson, from Jordan Watkins, the one game you get from Christian Kirk, the one play you get from Jacob Cowing. Yeah, I see where, Bonte said that, and then I see why Steve Smith echoed that.
888-957-9570 is the number. One more. Again, this is great stuff. Steve Smith Sr., and he was in a podcast with James Palmer, who I believe is now going to be the Amazon Prime broadcast insider guy, because I think Rap Sheet was doing it a couple of years ago, but now he's with ESPN. So James Palmer is going to be their little insider for the Amazon Prime broadcast. This is Steve Smith talking about Stribling going to have non-starting quarterbacks covering him, and you know what? That could be a recipe for success in San Francisco.
And this is a really good spot for that to start, isn't it, Steve? I see a couple of things. You have Mike Evans in that room. You have
he's going to take the number one corner, and then the slot would be Christian Kirk. What is he going to do? He's going to require some attention. CMC, line him up outside. You go him in
all
motion,
the eyes are there,
right? Yeah. All the eyes, linebacker, right? And then Deebo, line Deebo up, put him in motion. What's going to happen? Oh, somebody's got to get the big guy.
Got to count.
All of a sudden, the corner is not a starter. The second, number two guy, he's not. He's not covering him. So Mike Evans has the starting best corner out there covering him. Christian Kirk has the best nickel guy covering him. The linebacker with George Kittle, he's got him, and then CMC, whatever he's doing, and then Deebo. Man, you're getting deep into that corner spot that they don't necessarily think he's good enough to cover Mike Evans. Well, guess what? There's probably going to be a third or fourth corner who Stribling played against in college, or a guy who's a gunner on special teams, who's developing.
Steve Smith is so high on DeJuan Stribling. Now, I want to pause here a little bit because he was also very high on Ricky Pearsall. He was the one that called him Slick Rick when he came out of Florida and the Niners drafted him. He was one of the only analysts that was super high on that draft selection. Unfortunately, Ricky just hasn't really stayed healthy enough make that sort of impact in San Francisco. But he was high on that pick. He's really high on Stribling. And he doesn't dish out this kind of praise all the time. When I think of Steve Smith Sr., I think of a salty, grizzled vet that will outwork you and try to punk you on a daily basis.
Was there a receiver he was beefing with a few years ago?
I'm glad you brought that up. On a broadcast before the game in Cleveland, he went at Jerry Jeudy.
That's right.
Jerry Jeudy, who was, in his own right, highly thought of, Alabama. He was the can't-miss wide receiver prospect that year. The same year, by the way, the Niners ended up drafting who? Brandon Ayuk in that stacked wide receiver draft where you had Justin Jefferson, you had Ruggs, obviously. I mentioned Jerry Jeudy. There was a line of quarterbacks that ended up getting taken. Brandon Ayuk a part of that. Jerry Jeudy got, Steve Smith and him went out at the big, it was hilarious, by the way. But I say all that to say, it's not like Steve Smith is praising everyone. He can be hard on guys too.
Yeah.
But he seems to be really high on Stribling, really high, which makes me excited if I'm a Niner fan.
It's one of those things, like the only thing that feels like can stop the Niners, unfortunately, it is the health.
He called Jeudy a jag. That's what it was. Just another guy.
That's right. That's right. That was, because then he yelled at him on the sideline during a broadcast.
He didn't go down. Yeah. Well, I think that hurt, Steve Smith and his NFL Network job too, because they probably didn't want the analysts going at that. But dude, if I'm the NFL Network, and it's funny how things work out now, NFL Network, ESPN are merged together. So do we see more Steve Smith on Get Up and First Take? But, dude, that's what I love about Steve Smith. You want him to be authentically himself, even if he is calling out these other guys, because he's probably trying to light a fire under Jerry Jeudy. Jeudy took it personally, and they went at each other. What's wrong with that? It's great. That's why we love Steve Smith.
Yeah, do something about it, Jerry. Make him stop talking about you that way.
I agree.
But again, you look at this 49ers receiving core. Maybe we can kind of do this more on the other side. Just, again, we did the breakdown the other day, and I forget how we ranked the receiving cores. I don't think we put the Niners on top, but obviously, number one receiver, JSN versus maybe Puka versus Evans. You're probably feeling better about JSN and Puka more than Evans, mainly because two of them are younger, not coming off of injury-ravaged seasons. But I don't know, Joe, maybe we need to go back and retake a look at how we rated these receiving cores here. And maybe at the top, the Seahawks and Rams might have an advantage. But if you're looking at the entirety of the wide receiver room, maybe this is a situation we need to reconsider that the Niners might have the best on paper group of wide receivers in the NFC West.
What if I told you that DeJuan Stribling might have a better opportunity at winning the Offensive Rookie of the Year over Fernando Mendoza, the number one overall pick, who's also playing tonight? I'll explain on the other side, and it's going to be sponsored by, I have it, Safeway.